Most people over 60 are told the same simple thing about staying healthy. Just eat a balanced diet, and your body will absorb everything it needs. It sounds sensible, it sounds safe, but here is what almost nobody tells you. After 60, eating well alone does not protect you from quietly running out of the one nutrient your balance and your memory depend on. That nutrient is vitamin B12. And here is the hard part. After 60, your body slowly loses the ability to pull B12 out of your food, even when you are eating plenty of it. Geriatric clinics see this every single day. Older adults who eat well, with blood work that tells a very different story. In the next few minutes, I am going to give you 5 ways to get that B12 back. And I will share the one insight that most 12-minute appointments never have time to explain. The number one item on this list is something almost nobody talks about. Stay with me until the very end, because that one can change how you protect your mind and your independence for the next 10 years. Let me tell you why this slips through the cracks so often. A typical doctor visit now lasts about 12 minutes. In that time, your doctor has to hear your concerns, check your medicines, and deal with your most urgent problem. A slow, silent drop in one vitamin almost never makes that list. B12 trouble hides behind ordinary complaints. Tiredness, tingling feet, a little forgetfulness, feeling unsteady. Those get blamed on age, and the real cause goes unspoken for years. So let me be clear about why this channel exists. I am not here to sell you a supplement or scare you into a course. This channel exists to give you the science a 12-minute appointment never has time to cover. Nothing more and nothing less. Because this is not really about a number on a lab sheet. B12 protects the nerves that keep you steady on your feet and the memory that keeps you sharp. Run low for too long, and you put at risk the very things that let you stay in your own home. Your balance, your footing, and your clear thinking. So tell me in the comments, what is your age, and which country are you watching from tonight? I read these, and they tell me exactly who I am talking to. Now here is the mechanism behind everything else in this video. The B12 in meat, fish, and eggs is not floating free. It is locked tightly to the protein in that food. To use it, your stomach must first release it with strong acid and then hand it to a special escort molecule that carries it into your blood. After 60, both of those steps weaken, and that is where the trouble begins. Think of it like a locked delivery truck pulling up to your house. The vitamin is the package, sealed inside the truck. Your stomach acid is the key that opens the back door, and that escort molecule is the driver who actually carries the package to your step. After 60, the key gets worn and the driver keeps calling in sick, so the package sits in the truck and drives away, still sealed. Please do not skip this part. It is the key to everything that follows, because every fix-ahead works by getting around one of those 2 broken steps. If this is already making sense to you, tap the like button so more seniors can find it. That one tap helps this reach someone who needs it tonight. Let us start the countdown at number 5. A splash of acid before your protein meals. The simplest version is 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar in a small glass of water, taken just before you eat. Remember the worn key from a moment ago. This is how you sharpen it. After 60, many people make far less stomach acid, a condition doctors call atrophic gastritis. Without that acid, the B12 stays locked to your food protein and passes right through you. Adding a little acid before the meal is like oiling that rusty key, so the back door of the truck finally opens. Large studies of older adults have consistently linked low stomach acid to poor B12 status. It is one of the best documented reasons seniors fall short. Here is exactly how to do it. Mix 1 teaspoon, not 1 tablespoon, of apple cider vinegar into half a glass of water. Sip it slowly over the 2 or 3 minutes before your main protein meal, once or twice a day. Always drink it through the water, never straight, because straight vinegar is hard on your teeth and your throat. Rinse your mouth with plain water afterward to protect the enamel. Give it 2 to 3 weeks, and pair it with meals that actually contain B12, like eggs, fish, or dairy. Now the safety part, and this matters. If you have acid reflux, an ulcer, or you take a prescription acid reducer, do not start this without asking your doctor first. Begin with just half a teaspoon and see how you feel. If you notice burning, heartburn, or any stomach pain, that is your signal to stop, not to push through. Pair this one with a warm, protein-rich breakfast, because that is when your body is primed to absorb. The acid opens the lock, and the protein meal brings the package to the door at the same time. Together they do far more than either does alone. And keep number 1 in the back of your mind, because it is the method that still works, even when your gut has stopped cooperating entirely. But here is the limit of number 5. Sharpening the key only helps with the B12 trapped inside your food. It does nothing for the kind of B12 that needs no key at all, and that is exactly what number 4 is built around. Number 4 is fortified foods, and this is the free B12 most people overlook. I mean foods with B12 added during manufacturing. Fortified breakfast cereals, fortified plant milks, and fortified nutritional yeast. Here is why this is so clever. The B12 added to fortified foods is not bound to any protein. It is already free, already unlocked, sitting loose and ready to absorb. Going back to our delivery truck, this package was never sealed inside in the first place. It is handed straight to you at the curb, so even a worn-out key and a tired driver can still get some of it through. This is why national dietary guidelines specifically advise adults over 50 to get much of their B12 from fortified foods or supplements. It is one of the few age-specific nutrition recommendations that experts agree on across countries. Here is how to use it. Read the label and look for a food that gives you at least 1 to 2 micrograms of B12 per serving. Aim to include 1 fortified food every single day, not just now and then. A good target for adults over 60 is around 2.5 micrograms of B12 a day from all sources combined. Have your fortified cereal at breakfast, or stir 1 tablespoon of fortified nutritional yeast into soup or eggs. Because your body can only absorb a small amount at once, spreading it across the day beats 1 large serving. This one is gentle and safe for almost everyone. If you live with diabetes, choose a low-sugar fortified cereal, or use fortified plant milk and nutritional yeast instead. Check the sodium on fortified products if you are watching your blood pressure. And if a new food ever upsets your stomach, stop that product and simply try a different fortified option. Pair your fortified food with the acid trick from number 5 for an even better result. The fortified B12 gives you the free, unlocked kind, while the acid rescues the locked kind from your other foods. Now you are collecting B12 from 2 directions at once, but food can only take you so far. If something is actively draining your B12 faster than any meal can replace it, no cereal will keep up. And one of the most common drains sits right in your own medicine cabinet, which is exactly where number 3 begins. Number 3 is a conversation, not a food. Review your medicines with your doctor for hidden B12 drainers. 2 very common ones stand out: a diabetes drug called metformin, and the strong acid reducers known as proton pump inhibitors. Here is how these quietly work against you. Metformin interferes with the way your gut takes up B12 at the very last step. And acid reducers do exactly what their name says. They lower the stomach acid that unlocks B12 from food. Picture 2 of your best workers being pulled off the delivery route. The whole line slows down, even when the trucks keep coming. Take these medicines for years, as many older adults do, and the shortfall builds so slowly, you never feel it happen. Major diabetes organizations now advise checking B12 in people who have taken metformin for several years. The link is well established, not a fringe idea. Here is exactly what to do and what not to do. Do not stop or change any prescription on your own, ever. Instead, at your next appointment, ask one simple question: could any of my medicines be lowering my B12? If you have taken metformin or an acid reducer for more than 1 year, ask specifically about a B12 blood test. Bring a written list of everything you take, including over-the-counter heartburn pills you might not call medicine. Your doctor can then decide whether to add a supplement, adjust a dose, or check your level once a year. The safety rule here is simple and firm. These drugs are often doing important work, so the goal is to add B12 back, not to abandon your treatment. Never skip a dose to fix your vitamin. That trade is not worth it. If you ever feel new numbness, deep fatigue, or unsteadiness, tell your doctor promptly rather than waiting for the next visit. Pair this conversation with the written medicine list I just mentioned. Walk in with that list and one clear question, and you turn a rushed visit into a focused one. You are doing the detective work for them, and that is how you get a real answer. And remember, number 1 is still coming, and it is the one that lets you get your B12 back no matter how worn out your absorption has become. But even the best medicine review is still a guess until you have one number in front of you. Without it, you are treating a problem you cannot actually see. That missing number is what number 2 puts in your hands. Number 2 is testing, actually measuring your B12 instead of guessing. And there is a smarter way to test than most people realize. Have you ever been told your B12 was normal, yet still felt tired and off. Here is the problem with a standard B12 blood test. It can read as normal even when your cells are starving, because some of that B12 is inactive and unusable. It is like counting all the trucks parked in the lot without checking which ones still have fuel. So your doctor can order two backup markers, called methylmalonic acid and homocysteine. When those two are high, it means your body is truly short on usable B12, even if the first number looked fine. Geriatric specialists rely on these backup markers precisely because the basic test misses so many early cases. This is standard laboratory practice, not anything exotic. Here is how to use this. Ask your doctor for a serum B12 test as your starting point. If your result lands in the low normal zone, roughly between 200 and 400, ask for the two backup markers rather than assuming you are fine. That gray zone is exactly where symptoms hide and standard results mislead. Once treated, most people recheck their level every 6 to 12 months. Write your number down each time so you can watch the trend instead of staring at a single day. This step carries no physical risk. It is only a blood draw. The real caution is emotional. Do not panic over one borderline result. One number is a snapshot, not a diagnosis, and your doctor reads it alongside your symptoms. But if you have numbness, balance trouble, or memory changes, do not let a single normal reading close the door. Ask for the backup markers. Pair your test with a short symptom diary from the 2 weeks before it. Note any tingling, fatigue, or unsteadiness, and bring it with you. The number plus the story together tell a truth that neither one tells alone. But here is the hard truth about testing. Knowing your number does not raise it by a single point. The test only shows you the whole. Number 1 is how you finally fill it, and it is the piece almost nobody explains properly. So here it is, the number 1 way to get your B12 back after 60, a daily high dose of oral B12 taken by mouth in a form your body can use right away. Now stay with me, because this is the insight that changes everything. Everything so far has tried to repair your broken absorption system. The worn key, the tired driver. Number 1 does something completely different. It walks around that system entirely. Here is the science almost nobody explains at an appointment. Your body has 2 ways to absorb B12, not 1. The first is that fussy escort system that fails with age, and it can only move a tiny fixed amount at a time. But there is a second, backup route, where B12 simply soaks straight through your gut wall on its own, with no key and no driver required. That backup route only grabs about 1% of whatever you swallow, which sounds useless, until you make the dose big enough that 1% is still plenty. Flood the hallway with enough packages, and enough of them slip under the door all by themselves, even with the delivery crew gone home. This is not a fringe trick. Large clinical trials have shown that high-dose oral B12 can work, as well as injections for many people with a deficiency. That finding is why so many doctors now start with pills before ever reaching for a needle. So here is the full protocol, and this is the densest part of the whole video, so listen closely. For maintenance in healthy older adults, a common daily dose is between 250 and 500 micrograms of B12 by mouth. When someone is truly low, doctors often use a much higher daily dose, around 1,000 micrograms, to force that 1% backup route to deliver enough. Take it once a day, every day, because that passive route has no memory and must be refilled daily. Choose the methylcobalamin form when you can, because it is the active, ready-to-use kind your cells absorb without extra steps. Take it on an empty stomach when possible, about 30 minutes before a meal, for the cleanest uptake. If you use a tablet you place under your tongue, let it dissolve slowly for 1 to 2 minutes rather than swallowing it whole. Be patient, because it often takes about 3 months of daily use before your blood level and your energy truly climb. The single biggest mistake people make is taking it once in a while. This nutrient rewards daily consistency, not the occasional big dose. And because it is water-soluble, your body simply passes what it does not need, which is why even these larger doses have such a wide margin of safety. Now the safety, because even the safest vitamin deserves respect. B12 has no known toxic level, so these doses are considered very safe for healthy adults. But if you take metformin, an acid reducer, or any other prescription, talk to your doctor before adding a daily supplement, so it fits with your treatment. If you have ever reacted badly to a supplement, start on a low dose and watch how you feel for a few days. One important warning: do not try to fix a suspected B12 problem with high-dose folic acid instead, because folate can hide the deficiency while nerve damage quietly continues. And if your symptoms are severe, sudden numbness, real balance loss, or fast memory change, that is a reason to see your doctor now, not to treat yourself with pills. Here is the pairing that makes number 1 shine. Take your daily B12 alongside enough folate and vitamin B6, because these 3 work as a team to protect your nerves and your memory. The safest way to get that balance is a simple B complex or a sensible senior multivitamin that keeps the doses reasonable. B12 fills the tank and its partners make sure the fuel actually reaches the engine. And this is the payoff I promised you at the very beginning. The thing almost nobody talks about is this. You do not have to perfectly repair your aging gut to get your B12 back. You can simply route around it every single day with a form and a dose your body cannot ignore. Protect that one nutrient now, and you are protecting your balance, your memory, and your independence for the next 10 years. Consider a typical case documented in the geriatric literature, a 74-year-old woman who had felt steadily worse for 2 years. Her feet tingled at night, her balance felt off on the stairs, and her family noticed she was more forgetful. Everyone, including her, had simply blamed it on getting older. Her doctor finally checked the backup markers we talked about, and they told the real story. Her usable B12 was low. It turned out she had taken an acid reducer for years, quietly draining her supply. She did not stop that medicine. She added to the picture instead. She began a daily high dose of oral B12 in the active form, taken every morning, and paired it with a fortified breakfast and a simple B complex. Within about 3 months, her blood markers moved back into the healthy range. The nighttime tingling in her feet eased, and her balance on the stairs steadied. Her family said her sharpness returned, bit by bit. Nothing exotic saved her independence. Just the right nutrient, in the right form, taken every single day. So let us turn all of this into a plan you can actually start tonight. Here is your checklist, and every step has a number, so nothing is left vague. Step 1, tonight. Open your medicine cabinet and write down every single thing you take, prescription and over-the-counter. Step 2, this week. Add 1 fortified food to your day, with at least 1 to 2 micrograms of B12 per serving. A fortified cereal at breakfast is the easy way in. Step 3, also this week. If your stomach is healthy, try 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar in half a glass of water before 1 protein meal. Stop if it causes any burning. Step 4, at your next visit. Ask for a B12 blood test, and ask for the 2 backup markers if your number lands between 200 and 400. Step 5, going forward. Once your doctor agrees it fits your medicines, take 1 daily B12 supplement in the methylcobalamin form, somewhere between 250 and 1,000 micrograms. Take it every day, because daily is what makes it work. Before you go, think of someone in your life who has been getting more forgetful or unsteady lately. A parent, a partner, or a friend who just blames it on age. Send them this video, because this might be the one conversation that changes their next 10 years. And tell me in the comments which of these 5 you are starting tonight. Your answers decide exactly what I cover next on this channel. If this gave you the science your last appointment did not have time for, subscribe and stay with me. That is the whole mission here. The explanations a rushed visit never gets to. This video is education, not a diagnosis. Your own doctor knows your history, so bring this list to your next appointment. I am Nathan Reeves. Don't forget to subscribe and live longer.